She won Olympic gold in London and has 5 world titles as an amateur. Now, Irish boxer Katie Taylor is preparing to make her debut as a professional. Taylor will also fight on the undercard of former Olympic champion Anthony Joshua in December. Also on Welcome to Sports Women. Katie Taylor has signed a professional contract with Matchroom Boxing and will make her debut in the paid ranks later on this month. Former boxer Natasha Jonas and Sky Sports' Adam Smith are here with us to preview her professional debut. But it all began for Taylor as an amateur 15 years ago at the age of just 15. Since then, she's won 5 world titles, 6 European titles and Olympic gold in London at the 2012 Games. Well, the next phase of her career begins in London again on November the 26th, and a second pro outing will be at the Manchester Arena on December the 10th, where she'll be on the Anthony Joshua undercard. Well, Katie Taylor tweeted about this new phase of her career, calling it an exciting new chapter, and said that she's ready to conquer. All right, well, as I mentioned, Natasha Jonas joins us along with Adam Smith. So, Natasha, what will this mean for women's boxing?
It's absolutely massive. You've got people that are wanting to see and wanting to know now about women's professional side. It hasn't always been in the limelight. You know, she's got a crazy following, and she'll take the world by storm.
And you boxed her, obviously, at the London Olympics. Adam, you watched it, you were there.
I was.
How big is Katie Taylor?
That event in itself was absolutely phenomenal. Unfortunately, Natasha didn't win. Johnny Nelson and I were there amongst 9,950 Irish. It was incredible, the atmosphere. I mean, I put it right up there with the nights that Ricky Hatton beat Costas Hugh, Froch Groves maybe, when Naz went to the Garden against Kevin Kelly. You know, Katie Taylor against Natasha Jonas in London 2012 was some happening. She is loved, she's adored. She's a wonderful athlete, she's great outside the ring, she's brilliant inside it, she's a fantastic ambassador, and I think this is a huge moment for women's sport, women's boxing, and for us as well.
Yeah, especially because Eddie Hearn has signed a woman. That's quite significant, isn't it? It's momentous, even though we don't know her opponent yet. It's
very significant. You know, it's a huge statement from Eddie. I'm absolutely thrilled. You know, Katie is wonderful, and she's done everything asked of her in the amateur game and about 20-fold more. She's won 5 world titles. She was very unlucky in the last Olympics. Obviously, she carried the flag in London 2012, won the inaugural one there. She's brilliantly talented, former footballer as well. You know, and I think this is terrific for women's professional boxing, that now it's going to be taken seriously. That's right, Natasha, isn't it?
Yes, definitely. And like I said before, people are going to want to watch it, and you know, it's got to be. We've said we've got to be of a good standard, and you know, and she's on the big shows, and that's stating what Eddie.
That's the key, isn't it? Getting the matches right.
Yeah. You don't want people to watch it and it be. You know, mismatched and think, oh, that's the opinion of professional women's boxing, when really and truly there's good professionals out there. Ochigava, who she fought in the final in London 2012, she's a professional. There's people like Lucie Bertard of France who turned professional a couple of years ago, and we're talking about European silver medalists. So you know, there is good people out there. We have to get them the matches right.
And the week before Katie turns professional, Clarissa Shields does as well on the big Kovalev-Ward fight that's on Sky. That's terrific. Clarissa Shields, a double Olympian herself, you know, the pride of America. Katie goes the week after. I'm sure Nicola Adams is thinking, I'm sure Natasha is as well. It's really important. And Savannah Marshall as well, our Sky Sports scholar, she must be thinking as well what to do now. This is really exciting times.
Yeah, it gives women another option. And you can still be in the Olympics after being a professional. So whereas the lads have always had that thing, oh, I can turn pro and I can do that. The women hasn't always had that. It was kind of you stay amateur because that's where all the gains were, and you know, you could get the chance to be in the Olympics, which was what every amateur wanted. But now we've got the thing where you can turn pro if you want to. So.
Adam, you mentioned Nicola Adams. Do you think that she will follow Katie Taylor?
I think there's a strong chance. I mean, Nicola has, again, she's been phenomenal, hasn't she? You know, wonderful outside the ring, terrific inside, the little Ali shuffles, the 2 Olympics. You know, yes, she could go for a 3rd Olympics, but why not turn pro as well? As Natasha was saying, you know, the men are doing both as well, and it's a fantastic opportunity for these terrific athletes to finally get onto the professional stage as well as the amateurs, and I think it's great.
Natasha, we just saw Nicola with her headgear on there. For Katie Taylor, she will not be wearing headgear when she's boxing professionally. What kind of a difference is that going to make?
It's the same sport, but it's a different game. You know, you have to punch a lot harder. You have to keep people off. You know, you have to move your head differently, because you can get caught and you can get cut. The good thing about the head guards is that it's very rare that you'll get cut with a head guard on. But once, as you've seen with the lads, as soon as they took them off, there was lots of cuts in the championships. People couldn't go. Yeah, it's just different. It's just totally different. So.
And the other thing about this is that it will hopefully encourage more women and girls to get into boxing. Natasha, that's something that you definitely want to see more of. And according to Sport England, 36,000 women say that they take part in boxing at least once a month. Are you seeing more and more women taking part?
Well, I knew straight after the London 2012 Olympics. I mean, for many years, I'm sure me, Nicola and Savannah were probably the only girls in our gyms. And as soon as 2012 came and went, you know, I think we had 5 carded girls ready to box, and that was just, it was great for me to just go back into the gym and see like 4 other girls there that wanted to train, wanted to compete, just because of what they'd seen on the telly. And it's positive role models like that.
And the kids are getting inspired by what Nicola Adams, for example, has done. My 10-year-old loves boxing, you know. She doesn't like getting hit, but I mean, you know, but the rhythm and the sort of competitiveness and the balance and everything, the coordination and the confidence it gives you is fantastic. So at whatever level, it's really interesting seeing the girls get involved.
Yeah, it's good to see the movement, and you just got to see the progression and keep moving along. So it's, you know, you can be an amateur, you can take the sport where you want, and then you can turn professional. And while it's so big, the amateur sport is so big for women, it's good to keep the movement going. And now, you know, it's a professional thing, and people are going to want to watch that as well.
All right, both of you, thank you very much for that. We very much look forward to the fight. We'll hear more from you, Natasha, in just a few moments later on in the programme. We'll also have all the build-up to that fight on Sky Sports News HQ throughout November. And you can see Katie Taylor's professional debut when she fights at Wembley on November the 26th. It's live on Sky Sports 2. Well, Natasha Jonas is still with me. Now, Natasha, you retired after the Commonwealth Games in Glasgow because of injury. Have you found it difficult to adapt to normal life? Well,
normal life is a little bit boring. So it is difficult because you're coming from the highs of performing, you know. For us, the Olympics, 10,000 people sometimes cheering your name unless you're with Katie Taylor. Yeah. But, you know, and then you've got to go out and think, well, what happens next? And your life as an athlete is so short that you do have to plan and make plans. And luckily enough, as I made my journey through GB boxing, I was able to put things in place for afterwards. And I'm lucky enough to be part of an employability course, TKO, which incorporates boxing and giving people the skills to go out and find employment. Because as you heard there's lots of things that athletes have and lots of attributes and skills that we have that are very, very transferable into the workplace.
Yeah, definitely. Now, after hearing about Katie Taylor, surely you must be tempted. Would you turn pro yourself? Would you go back, make a comeback?
It's hard because I'm happy with the life that I'm in, but I knew as soon as Katie and Clarissa started turning professional that I'd get the phone calls, and already the phone calls are coming in. And
really?
Yeah, so people are already phoning, wanting to know what your thoughts, what your ideas, what you think about it, what would it take for me to do it, and it's nice to have them options. Like, again, the doors are open for you. So
what would it take, Natasha? Would you do it?
That's a secret. That's a secret.
Really? So what are you doing now? Because I think you have still kept a finger in the boxing pie. Have you been doing a bit of coaching?
Yeah, I do coaching at my local gym, which is the Rotunda. As I say, I've got my own employability course. So we do work with the unemployed, and I do work for the Youth Sport Trust as well, the Sky Sports Living for Sport, and it's an amazing programme that I've been lucky to be part of most of my athlete career.
Yeah, I know you give a lot back to the sport. Thank you very much for taking the time to speak to us. Lovely to see you. Thank you, Natasha.